successfully sell your market. First, we'll talk about how the market works in real estate. And then we talk about how you can successfully make money, most money out of your property, which normally is the biggest investment of your life. And then we'll talk about some numbers with the actual example of the homes that we helped our client sell. Market direction. To determine the market direction of real estate. Actually, so a lot of people try to still sell the real estate just like a product. Well, product like computer, there is a cost and seller has some price in mind and seller decides how much the product sells for in the market. However, real estate is commodity, so therefore it's like gold. The market or buyer decides the value. So therefore, if you try to sell the house because you spend so much money to purchase and you put so much money into renovation, therefore I need to make this money, that doesn't work. But I show you how it works instead. Identifying the market trends. So there are appreciating market and depreciating market. Appreciating market is there are certain available inventory exist, but there are more houses selling, so therefore price goes up. In depreciating market, there are more inventories than houses being sold. So therefore, there will be excess of houses on the market, so therefore price tends to go down. The buyer pool. The buyer pool, we consider stay fairly constant because there are people who can afford to purchase homes like we do, right? When we invest in properties, we can buy the next one, but we're waiting until we see, oh, this is a good value. So whether it's a buyer's market or seller's market, the media talks about it, but still the buyer pool fairly consistently are there in any kind of market. In 2021, the price of homes went up by 15 to 25% nationwide. So typically buyers would react like, ooh, it's too much, too expensive. But is that what's happening in the market right now? No. Why is that? Because of the low, or in a way, a negative interest rate, because the inflation last year was 6.8%, while the 30-year interest of fixed rate mortgage is 3.25%. So next 30 years, you keep paying only 3.25%. So therefore, you're paying negative interest in a way. So therefore, the buyers still consider this is a good market and perceives value in homes. So therefore, the buyer's market is continuing, and that's how you say it. But basically, the buyer sees the value in the house. That's when buyer react to buy. The importance of the price. The closer you price your home to the realistic market value, the more buyer will be willing to consider your home. So this is a graph of the number of the traffic it shows. When a property is listed, then in the first 2 weeks, you see the volume of traffic coming to see the house. So this is the showing traffic. However, after 2 weeks, it just tapers down quickly, and then less and less and less people are coming. Oftentimes, a lot of sellers say, hey, I want to sell this house for $300,000. So we need to make some space for negotiation. So let's just, price it for $350,000. And then, they negotiate $25,000 and I still sell it for $325,000. But that's not how it works. This is why. Look at those 3 houses. Days on market affects selling price. All those 3 houses, exactly the same house, exactly the same price, $429,000. But please look at them more closely, the days on market. So when realtor lists your home, it shows like 2 days on the market. That's how it starts. So when you see that, then what do? What's your reaction? Oh, wow, that's a nice house in the area I'm looking. And it just came on the market. There must be a lot of showings happening. I better hurry up and schedule a showing with Sam so I can go see it, see if it's worth buying. Look at the next one. Same house, same price, 30 days on the market. In today's market, something is sitting on the market for 30 days. What do you think? What do you think about the house? Sellers are getting anxious to get a showing and get an offer, right? But if you're a buyer, what do you think? Are you going to offer $429 or higher than $429? No way, right? You're going to start thinking, how much do you think I can offer Sam? How much discount do you think I should get from this house? And Sam would say, hey, just run a CMA to see, how much overpriced this house is. And look at the last one. That's desperate, right? 6 days on the market. Definitely this house looks attractive in the picture, and it must have gone into the contract at certain point, but probably fell out of the contract. Is there anything wrong with the basement? Is there any leak on the roof? So those are the thinking that you're thinking. There must be something wrong with the house. So definitely there is no way you get the full price offer or anywhere close to the price, right? So buyers pay attention to how long a property has been on the market, and their perception of the value of the home decreases each day, every day. Therefore, property was usually sell at its highest price in the first days of exposure to the market. When it gets listed, then there are this many showings happen. That's when you have to sell your home. So do not overprice your house. Buyer pool perception depending on what's available on the market. When there is many buyers coming into the house and you see the house with the people lining up to get in, you think about, oh no, this would be a multiple offer situation. It's listed at $429. Hey Sam, how much do you think I need to offer? Do I have to waive an inspection? Do you think I have to waive appraisal too? And what else do I need to do to get this house? So there's a lot of energy and motivation created when there are so much traffic coming into the house. On the other hand, when there are a lot of houses or a few houses on the market, they were the similar or kind of alike value. And then, the same amount of buyers go see the houses, but not just one particular home. So therefore, there isn't so much of urgency. So therefore, there isn't so much energy and motivation. You're not in a hurry. Maybe the ones that I see is not the best house that I can buy. I'll wait like this weekend. Hey, Sam, are you available this Saturday? See if I can see any other houses before I make an offer to this one. Let's compare. So that's something you want to avoid. The positioning the property to create energy and motivation is the key, is the focus of what we do as Nihongo de Columbus. Because if there are more people coming to see the house, there's more urgency of, oh no, we have to make an offer. How much money do we need to, put onto this house, or what contingencies do we need to remove in order for us to get into contracts? So that's what we focus on. by preparing your home at the best move-in ready condition and price it at the market price. That's one way. Or positioning your home using strategic pricing creates a perception of value among competing properties. So one way or another, if you are comparing with any other houses in the same area or similar area at the same condition, or if you are making it better, like staging, then that stands out. And that's the house you want to buy. So that's what we create, the perception of the value, okay? And when we price position the house, it's so obvious, the party time, when we first list the house, the listing or showing coming in, and then a lot of texts coming into Sam's and my telephone, and see, we know which one is a multiple offer situation. Most of our clients are good at listening to us, and they are great at preparing their home. So we start having 10, 20 showing requests coming in as soon as we post the pictures. On the other hand, if it's priced at okay price or kind of okay condition for the price, then, showings start coming in 2 or 3, but when actually showing happen, there's no offers coming in. We call it, that's yellow. And when there's hardly ever any showings, then we call it red. That's when we have to say we have to reposition your pricing. And it's so obvious by the number of showings scheduled. And then if the offers don't start coming in today's market condition on the first day, second day, third day, as showings start, we call it yellow. Because if offers do not come in, it doesn't matter how many people come in to see it, because eventually the time comes that people stopped coming. And then when people stop coming, then your days on market go up and people start to think, there must be something wrong with the house, or it must be significantly overpriced. So that's why we show this 3 levels of the traffic condition when we list the house. Now, let's talk about difficulties the seller faces. These are the things we hear from our sellers, our clients, when they try to sell a house. It's so difficult to identify a good, responsible contractor or contractors who show up and complete renovation. There is a joke. It's hard to find and hire a good contractor, but if you give them 6-pack, they show up. It's so difficult to know what works are needed and how much more you can sell the house for with that renovation. We do not want to spend money for renovation, or we want to spend renovation, but we just don't have the money right now because we're buying the next home. Or we just want to sell as is without going through renovation and selling process. Is there any way? So Nihongo-de-USA can help every type of sellers, and this is what we say. We used to say, because you make and net the most money when you do the renovation, we used to say, after we walk through, here is how much the estimate of the renovation, and this is how much you can sell it for. So compared to selling as is without renovation, isn't this better deal? That's we used to truly believe, because this is what we do every day. So we are so confident what renovation would bring in how much more money. However, that's not how sellers always feel. So we came to give different options to all types of sellers. So if you say so difficult to identify a good responsible contractor who show up and complete the renovation, if that's the only problem you have, we have our own contractor team. And not only we bring our contractors, we project manage. Some would see to them and make sure the renovation gets done on time, right? Or if you say, so difficult to know what works are needed and how much more you can sell the house for with the renovation. We walk through the house with our contractor team, tells you exactly what needs to be done. Because you'd be surprised at how little we would ask for renovation, because this is just a makeover, right? You're not going to keep living in there. We're not going to place the most expensive grill. We just want to make your house look good to somebody who can potentially buy the house. So it's a makeover. Sorry, I am working for you, seller. I am not working for you, buyer, right? So therefore, we try to take as little money as possible for our client, who is our seller, but try to get the most money out of it. And so we'll bring the estimate of exactly what needs to be done line by line. And we also tell you how much minimal we can get the house sold for. So that way, you can compare an apple to apple, right? If you want to, you believe that renovation will bring higher price, but you simply do not have money to spend, or you just do not want to risk spending the money. We had that case. We'll talk about that case. We now finance your renovation work and project manage, but we split the risk and also profit with you. So that way, you're not risking. If you don't believe us, we believe us. We know what we are doing. So we'll spend our money and do the work and then sell your house at the higher price. And let's share the fruit together. Finally, there is just this kind of seller exists, we learned. We just don't want to do anything. We just want to sell it as is. Sometimes they want to sell it as is on MLS and try to get the higher price. We had one buyer who didn't even want to go through that. We'll talk about that case. So they didn't even want to receive multiple offers and decide which one is the best offer. So they asked us, just want to sell our house as is, because we have already moved to Texas and just get done with. So we have done that and we can do that. We'll look at the 3 types of renovation and how we sold in the past. This is an example of house that unfortunately we cannot show you before picture because the family lived here with elderly parents. So actually on the left, it looks like it's a dining room, right? Yes, this is a first floor formal dining room next to the kitchen in the middle. Because they had 2 elderly parents, this was a bedroom when we walked through the house. And house was in original condition. And there was no way that we can sell the house. Well, if we had to, then we looked on the market and the price, even though this was in Hilliard, good neighborhood, 4-bed, 3.5 bath, a really nice, a big house, right? 3,724. 320 was at most you can get it for at that condition. So we walked through the house with our team of contractors, and renovation and staging cost estimate came to $40,000. And seller decided to spend that money and then sold it for $435,000. So as is would have been $320,000 at most, right? So the difference that they made was $115,000. And the cost was $40,000. We typically say how much ever you spend into the house to sell, especially if the kitchen is not redone, if the walls are dirty, or colors that were in the past, such as like yellow kitchen, definitely a past. Beige color bedrooms, definitely a past. If any of that applies to the house you're about to sell, any of the money you spend triples in investment. So look, they spent $40,000 and then they made $115,000. Second example. So we explained this is the difference. If you spend certain amount of money, you can triple. Do you want to do that? This seller said, yes, I'd like to do that. And so we said, okay, let me walk through the house with you and how much it cost. And the cost came to $36,000. They agreed to do it, but they couldn't finance the $36,000. So we knew this was the last home where this lady raised 2 of children with her husband. Husband passed away 10 years ago. Now children went through college and got a job and moved out. So she said this house is too big of a home for herself and wanted to sell it. But she just couldn't come up with $36,000. And she said, oh, it's okay, I'll sell it for $280,000. But we felt, hey, if you spend that $36,000, you can sell it for $400,000. And this is the last investment you've got for your retirement money. It's here. So we suggested, why don't we finance it? Why don't we finance it and then do the renovation and try to sell it high? And she said, yes, if that's possible, she would like to do that because she can't come up with the money anyway. So we did that and we sold it for $400,000. As is was $280,000. And we spent $36,000 and the difference came to $84,000. So seller made extra $42,000. She didn't spend any of the money in renovation, but still that's a big deal for somebody who is retiring, right? So this was one example that we were financing the renovation. I think there is a mistake in here because the Dublin City School purchased in 2000. Oh, I see. So she purchased this house for $258,000 and then as is would have been $280,000. So she paid off all the mortgage. So she was okay to sell $280,000, but she still made $400,000. And this is the example of the seller didn't want to do anything to do with the house. So this was the house in Columbus behind the Riverside Hospital. And look at the pictures. And this was the original condition of the house. The seller, the owner of the home, got sick, and therefore he moved closer to his son in Texas. So he has already moved out. He was thinking that he has to come back to Columbus and has to get rid of whatever the personal properties he's got. And he was dreading it. So Sam and I walked through the house. Actually, Sam walked through the house with the contractor. And this was the 3 scenarios we gave him. Scenario 1, sell as is on MLS. Probably we listed at $230,000. Possibly some contractors would like to flip the house, and it's a possibility that we might receive a higher offer. And we calculated with the cost of closing will come to $210,000 would be how much that seller would walk away with at closing table. Scenario 2, renovation for $60,000. So this house needed the full lift up. So with $60,000, and we will be able to sell it for $380,000. And then in the end, the seller would have walked up for $290,000. So he would have made $80,000 more. But he said, well, I've already moved out. I'm Texas. I don't want to do that. So we said, okay, what do you want to do? he said, if it's possible, I don't even want to receive offers from multiple buyers on MLS. Would you be able to buy this house as is? And we walked through the house and said, yes, it's not a multiple offer situation. The highest we can offer is 229. And as the CMA says, is that okay? He said yes. So in the end, he netted 213,100. So it was not the worst proceeds. And then he was very happy with it. And Mickey helped to get the signature from his wife in Japan. So that was quite a bit of work for us, but we were happy that sellers were happy. So look at this condition of the house. And after we purchased, of course, we didn't keep it as is. We did the renovation that we promised, and this is how it came to. What do you think? It's nice, right? So you might be interested. So here is the detailed pricing of the renovation. We purchased the house for $229,000. And down payment, we financed it. So down payment and closing fee came to $40,503.56. And renovation cost came to $64,650. We said $60,000, but after I looked at the house outside, we decided to paint outside as well. And look at the difference that it made. So it took 2 months for us to renovate the house. So therefore, we paid utility fees for 2 months, $40 and $36. And then we made 2 mortgage payments. The first month we paid $200 more than how much it needs to be paid. The staging came to $3,000, photography $175. So total money spent is $111,589. We listed the house for $399,900. See, we told you that if you list the house at going ready, move in condition, but still listed a little bit lower or at the market price, it creates a lot of energy and a lot of traffic, right? How many showings did we have for this house? Do you remember?
We had probably 20 showings, and this coming soon pictures hit the market on Wednesday. The first showing was Friday morning. Probably the first one was 11 o'clock. By 6 p.m., we were in contract in cash for the $380,000.
Right. So this is how you create the multiple offer situation, and then list it little lower if you could, if you're that bold like us, then we would do that because that would sell at the higher price in the end. And for this sales side, the closing cost came to $2,555, recording fee $1,215, property tax credit $3,164, cost to sell came to $11,400. Total was $18,335.26. We sold it for $380,000, and we paid off the mortgage balance of $183,000, and selling cost total came to $18,335.26. So proceed was $178,664.74. And look to the left, how much we spend is $111,589,000. So the profit came to $67,075.74. This could have been going into the pocket of the seller, but if seller chooses to have the not to do that, then we can buy as is, then we'll later sell it ourselves. So thank you very much. This property actually